Hey folks, welcome back to Gaming Garbage. We're taking a look at games, chat about the gaming news in the industry, and of course, stream for fun. Today we're talking about Ubisoft, and they've done something that I was not expecting. I don't think anybody was expecting this, but Ubisoft has delayed their earnings, H1, basically, of 2025 fiscal year. They've halted that, and then also they have asked for their trading to be halted of their stock since Thursday of last week. So this is Wednesday of next week. So they did say that they'll inform the market on the date of which trading will restart. We currently do not have an actual date of when they will release their earnings reports, and this is the thing that is kind of surprising. So yeah, again, this is the first half, the first 6 months of fiscal year 2025. So yeah, Ubisoft announces a postponement of the release of its results for its first half of the year, and then Ubisoft also requests Euronext, which is the stock market they're a part of, to halt trading on its shares and its bonds from the market opening of November 14th until publication of its first half results in the coming days. So they say coming days, but we're almost at a full week now. I mean, is this going to be a few weeks where they're going to be down? And as the speculation stirs, this is not going to be good for Ubisoft or even their stock market. I did want to read this too. This is from the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer. Hello, everyone. I wanted to let you know that we are taking extra time to finalize the closing of the semester, and as a result, we will publish our first half earnings results in the coming days instead of tonight, because they usually post after closing. So that doesn't affect the stock as much. Due to legal regulations, we cannot share... Yeah, what does that mean? Due to legal regulations, we cannot share information with you at this time. To limit unnecessary speculation and market volatility during this short delay, we have asked Euronext to suspend trading of our stock until the results are announced. We know this is likely to raise questions and drive media coverage. You bet it will. I encourage you all to listen to the conference call, which will be available via the investor section on our site just after the results are released, so that you have more detail of our earnings. Thank you for understanding. Which those are boring, but they are kind of interesting to listen to while they talk about how they're doing as a company. But yeah, the fact that they've delayed this, again, this was supposed to be the 13th when they were actually going to release this, and we're on the 19th now. And so yeah, nothing has happened, nothing is traded while the rest of the index gets done. And just a simpler look, this is over the last 5 years. And I've talked about this before, but yeah, it has just been nothing but down, right? It's just been really, really bad. And the opening of the Euro market runs from 9 to 5:30, and so this is about just a little after 3 a.m. my time, Pacific time. And so they should be open right now. They should be open right now. The Euronext should actually be open in Paris. And again, they are not trading again. There's no movement going on. And so they're probably not going to be trading the entire week. There has been some rumors that there's actually a buyout happening, that they are being bought. And yes, I partly agree with that. Because why would they say, due to legal regulations, we cannot share more information with you at this time? Why is that? They can't tell us when they're going to release information. They can't say why they're holding things unless they're partnered with somebody else behind closed doors, probably like Tencent, giving them some more money. Or I guess, too, it could also be someone else. But Ubisoft hasn't made money on games really for a long time. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora didn't make a ton of money. It made a little bit. We know Star Wars Outlaws was a really big flop. They also delayed the game almost an entire year, so that was a lot of extra revenue being put into the game to develop it. We also know, too, that Assassin's Creed Shadows wasn't as profitable as we thought it was, or as some were making it out to be. Oh, man, guys. They were pushing that it was so successful, and it's like, okay, 3 million players does not mean 3 million copies sold. We know roughly about 2 million copies. There are estimates, at least from some, claiming that with 180 million in revenue from the game, that it's barely profitable. So that's not great. That's not going to cover the losses they've already had. They've also been giving away DLC for free on some of their games. And you should see, too, that their games are on sale all the time within like the first couple of months. Even Assassin's Creed Shadows, they're super successful games. So, and then looking forward, we've gone through pretty much all of 2025 with not knowing anything about the Splinter Cell remake, not knowing anything about the Prince of Persia remake or reboot, whatever you want to call it. They haven't given really anything on any of their games. We know too that the next Far Cry 7 basically is maybe looking now at 2027 for a release. And we know that all of the big franchises basically have gone over to Vantage Studios, the new deal with Tencent, basically giving them like 1.1 or 1.2 billion dollars for a 25% investment, where they got the 75%, who knows, because they certainly don't have that much money. But like when we take a look at their financials a little bit, we're looking at their market capitalization right now is just under $1 billion. That's like the fair value of the company right now. But like, dude, they have a ton of debt. Like their debt is over $2 billion now. And their cash and equivalents is roughly $1 billion. So it's it's not good. Now, if there is a buyout happening, okay, by somebody, if it's possible, they got to buy all of the shares. They basically need to pay for what it's worth, and maybe pay a little more because like they would get some other stuff. But the thing that I think is interesting is that I don't know if Tencent would be buying them, because Tencent already owns the best IPs that Ubisoft has, which is Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six, because they already have that with Vantage Studios. If they want to buy them, I would think they would need to actually buy Vantage Studios outright. Now, Ubisoft has everything else, which again is not major IPs, and I'm sure too we're probably going to be seeing some layoffs next year from Ubisoft, because again they have 17,000 employees, but they're not making any money. Like this is kind of insane. Like when we look over here with their net margins, well, let's just do the year. Again, they're struggling to make money at all. Their profit margins in the orange are really low or even negative. So again, this is not great. Now we do have a little bit on the earnings. We did get a little bit of information, but again, the bulk of it is missing. We just don't know very much. So they had more revenue than they thought they did, but we don't know if that's profitable for those 6 months. Probably not. Also, the earnings was a little better than expected, but it was still negative. So yeah, again, none of this is good. And Ubisoft is in serious fire right now. They are definitely burning. And then there's just not a lot of information about any of their future projects. Still, like Assassin's Creed Shadows was it. That was supposed to release in 2024. Well, it released in 2025, right after their last earnings, right? Right after this. It was literally days after this report came out. Again, which was pretty negative because, yeah, they didn't release the game that they thought, that they thought they would. But yeah, this is not good. So anyway, I don't know. I'll keep my ear to the grindstone, see what's out there. But yeah, it's not looking very good for Ubisoft. And yeah, the Guillemot brothers, they're just running this company into the ground. And there's a lot of people, including myself, I am curious somewhat about Ubisoft, but I don't really care. I don't really like their games, okay? I don't like the yellow. I don't like them trying to be Western and modern with their gaming narratives. To a lot of their games, I just feel like they don't innovate. I feel like I've just played them all before, and I feel like their older games are even better than what they're producing today. I think Star Wars Outlaws is a really good example of that. And even with extra time, their games are still buggy. It's unbelievable. So yeah, and then they want you to pay $70. No, they are not premium products. They maybe at a max deserve to be 50 or even less than that with the last few titles that they've released. So yeah, if they are being bought out, I would kind of think maybe it's by somebody else other than Tencent. But again, that's just speculation, so we'll have to see. What do you guys think? So with that, folks, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys on the next one.